Hey, everybody, Mr. Daly here. Looking at, see if this will look better. My big head's in the way there. Looking at sharing with you the answers for our review sheet. Doing it very crudely this morning as I could not find what I had set up from before. So I'd like you to take some time to go ahead and check through these answers. Okay. Just look at a couple things out of here, that first section. There's only two of them that you can see that the answer should be no. Okay, so I think a few of you need to double check those. Okay, do we have separate courts of equity and courts of law today? No, we don't. It's been merged. You know, our courts will handle both types of cases. They don't have equity courts separate anymore like they did way back in the day. Is a state statute that violates the U.S. Constitution nevertheless valid, but only within that particular state? That's a great question. And sometimes we might think yes, but no. Um, and again, when a city ordinance goes up against a state constitutional law or state goes up against federal, the state law or the local one could be um, viewed as invalid. So either the law goes away or they go back to the books, rewrite it so that it doesn't contradict or go against the law that it previously did. So there's always room to work with these things. Okay. Um, We've seen number 10 a lot. Okay. May a single wrongful act be governed by both criminal law and civil law? Absolutely. Um, if somebody gets acquitted or found not guilty in a criminal type court, definitely civil can be done in a new court, new case. Um, so again, hopefully you got these okay, and you can always pause this too if you had to. Okay, a couple things out of section two. Try moving this up a little bit. There we go. All right, so English common law, definitely there's a lot of history. Governs all persons. Remember, on these multiple choice, you're always looking for the best answer. Even though, yeah, it might be that or might be, what's the best answer? Okay, which is the biggest connection? Okay, so obviously English common law was it. The Magna Carta, number two. Number three, the Bill of Rights provided us all with the following freedoms except the freedom of education. Okay, um, we have K 12, but after that, it's not a right, it's not a requirement. You don't have to, right? Um, the freedom of education was the one that gets tossed out on that one. Statutes, yeah. Yeah, number five, I think we flip flopped a little bit throughout the years. Administrative agencies are unique in that they have legislative and judicial power. Again, the best answer, okay? Um, yeah, that's probably the best answer for that, okay? There are administrative agencies in the state government, um, but mostly federal. But B is the best answer there. Number six, file precedents defined earlier. Yep, stare decisis. Okay, file previous cases. Yep, absolutely. And number seven, letter D, wrongs against individuals. Okay, the civil law. Again, it's not a society issue. Um, it's always individual. That's what civil is. Criminal is typically against society. Okay. All right. So, and then the other page, real quick. And again, on this one, a couple of people, it was my fault for probably not explaining this better. Um, the rule of law, you did not have to look up a law to put down on here. Okay. Really, what it was just why did you say yes or no? All right. Why did you say yes or no? Okay. So remember number one, um, this person entered into a contract to buy a parcel of real estate. When the seller backed out, the person Vest sued for money damages, thinking that that's the value of it. Will this lawsuit allow Vest? No. Specific performance to turn over the deed. In other words, forcing by court order to do something, to turn over the deed, not to say, well, let's find out how much money it's worth and then we'll give you the money value. That's not what it was doing there. Number three, Drendon had a proper agreement with Parker to buy a choice lot on the city's main business street. Then Parker changed her mind. Could a court compel Parker to deliver the deed? The court will order specific performance when dollar damages for breach of the agreement are inadequate. Okay, because sometimes it could be somebody else owns it. There could be other situations here. The proper agreement, if it was all legally corrected and written out, um, and then typically with big contract items, even if lease a car, buy a house, rent an apartment, big ticket items. I do believe there's a law that you have 3 business days to rescind your decision, okay, to back out of it, okay, so that you don't make a sharp um, decision on emotion or other people forcing you to do something, right? So that one, there's other factors into that, but that one could be definitely said as yes. So in the preceding question, when Drennan took his case to court, Parker demanded a jury trial. No, juries are not used by courts hearing equity issues. Judges decide those. Okay. Typically, juries are criminal and civil type matters, but equity issues, um, a lot of times it's just going to be the judge just deciding. Number 7 is also new. Stan carefully studied the Constitution, both the state and federal government. Through careful reading, he identified the conflict in the 2 documents regarding any the way criminal laws, criminal trials must be conducted. I have not had my coffee yet. Will the state's constitution prevail? Any state law, including part of the state constitution, which conflicts with the federal constitution is void. Okay, so that would definitely be no. There's the reason. And the last one, you can take a look at the extra credit one too, if you took a shot at that. Um, after studying the U.S. Constitution, Bally concludes that the supreme law of the country, therefore, she said, any and all disputes are ultimately governed by the U.S. Constitution. Is this true? No. Right? It is the supreme law of the land, but that doesn't mean that everything, like if I get a speeding ticket out here on 13 Mile, that doesn't mean I go to the Supreme Court to fight it, right? The U.S. Constitution delegates many powers to the states. Many legal problems are governed by state laws, local ordinances. That's why there's certain things that you'll go to a St. Clair Shores um, court rather than a state court. So again, even though it's the measuring point for everything, it helps guide everything, but it also gives power to states, local communities. Okay, and then within the state, it's governed differently too. Okay, so as far as we have our state constitution, and that gives local communities, school districts, little towns and villages different powers. Okay, so again, hope this helps. Take your time to go through this, and we'll get the test going. And hope you guys are doing well. All right, see you soon. Thanks.